Hey, it's Matt from Tradesman Digital Marketing. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through how to set up a proper call-only campaign. In this video, it's a little bit of an update from my previous tutorial. I'm going to address the new match type changes in it. I'm going to show you a little bit how to make a campaign a little bit quicker, and I'm going to show you how to make a successful campaign. So what is a call-only campaign to start off? A call-only campaign is exactly what it sounds like. It is a campaign that delivers only calls to your business. Now, these are absolutely fantastic for service-based businesses. Anywhere you can actually do a deal over the phone or you can book an appointment over the phone, these ads are absolutely fantastic and can generate you a lot of leads very, very quickly inside Google Ads. Now, what does a call-only ad look like? And this is what a call-only ad looks like. They're very simple. They have a headline, they have the name of your business, a little description here, and they have a few extensions you can use. I'm going to cover all of that in just a minute. But this is what a call-only ad looks like, and this is what people will see when they're scrolling through their mobile device. Now, how it works is when someone clicks on this ad, they're prompted to call you and they can call you right then and there, and you'll receive a notification in your Google Ads account that you've gotten a lead within 24 hours. And yeah, it's a very, very effective way of generating a lot of leads very quickly. So how do we start with generating a call-only campaign inside Google Ads? The first thing we have to do is come over here to campaigns. We're going to click on campaigns, and we're going to create a new campaign. We're going to hit the giant plus button. We're going to hit new campaign. Now we come to what's your campaign objective. And there's a whole bunch of options here. To keep it nice and simple, we're just going to click on leads because that's what we're aiming for in this campaign. We don't want sales. We don't want website traffic. We just want over the phone leads. And this is the best and easiest way to set it up. You can also create it without a campaign goal. That's another option. There's going to be a few more steps involved if you go with that route, but you can do that nonetheless. So the next thing is you're going to see the use these conversion goals to improve leads. Yeah, that's fine. We don't really have to worry about that because we're not really booking appointments with our website on this. We're only going to be getting phone calls from our call only ads. So now we're going to come down here to continue, hit continue. And what's going to pop up is select a campaign type. Now, Google has a lot of different campaigns types ranging from search, performance max, to shopping, to video. You can really run any type of ad you want. But for a call only campaign, it is in the search campaign. So we're going to hit search, and this is going to pop up. And this is where we're going to enter our phone number. Now, I've taken the example of Elite Pools. They're a company near us in Canada. I'm going to use their phone number. And make sure when you're entering the phone number, you use the proper country associated with it. If you do not, your phone number is going to get flagged. You're not going to be able to run ads, and it's going to not be a very good place to be in. The next thing is we're going to name our campaign. So we'll do call only campaign. And for this example, we're going to do, let's do fiberglass pools. Fiberglass pools. Actually, we'll just do pool installation. We'll do pool installation in general. So call only campaign for pool installation. And the next thing is we're going to hit continue. And the next step here is campaign settings. And this really is where all the nuts and bolts are. And you need to get this part correct in order to properly have a successful campaign. What I recommend doing right off the bat, our first step is bidding. So what do we want Google to focus on? Do we want it to focus on conversions, clicks, target cost per acquisition? What do we want? I recommend for the first 30 conversions, this could take anywhere from a month to 2 months, going with maximize clicks. And the reason for this is you want to be able to get enough data in the account to guide Google to the successful leads. If you give Google too much leeway right off the bat, it might go after keywords that aren't as successful. And it's really not that great for figuring stuff out by itself. So you really need to guide it right off the bat. With maximize clicks, it's going to give you the information you need for every single keyword. You're going to be able to determine, yep, that's a winner. We're going to keep this keyword, or nope, that's a loser. We're going to get rid of it. And that's why we generally go with maximize clicks right off the bat, just so we get that data in. And then after 30 or so conversions, we come into bidding again, and we're going to change it over to conversions. And then we're going to set a target CPA. And generally, Google gives you a recommended number for that. I would put it somewhere $5 to $10 above that. Give Google a little bit more leeway to run, and it should do really, really well for you in the future. But this is only after we have 30 or so conversions in the account. So I'm going to set it with maximize clicks, and then we're going to set a maximum cost per click bid limit. Now, this is very important. If you forget this, Google can go and spend your entire budget very quickly or on one click. So please, please, please set a budget for maximum cost per click bid limit. And the way we go about doing that is coming up here to tools and settings. And I'm going to open this in a new tab so we can bounce back and forth between this. What I'm going to do is come over here to discover new keywords, and I'm going to geo-modify this for our location. So I'm just going to put Toronto, Ontario, and oh, wrong city. Toronto, Ontario, and also Hamilton, Ontario, and maybe Mississauga as well. Mississauga, Ontario. Perfect. And now we're going to hit save. And the reason we geo-modify this is to make sure the cost per click and the actual prices associated with this are accurate. It's not like we're getting the cost for pool installation in Asia or Africa or South America. It's actually in this location, and it's very important to geo-modify this. So the next thing we're going to do is pool installation. We're just going to put in an example keyword. We could put pool installation near me. I spelled that wrong. And we're going to hit enter, and then we're going to get results. And this is going to pop up with a whole bunch of example keywords. Now, as you can see, we have the average monthly searches. If this is really low, so like 0 to 10, chances are you're going to have to add a lot of keywords. But because we already have 100 to 1,000 keywords, average monthly search results, we should be all right with just a few of these keywords. 10 to 100 is perfect. We don't anything lower than 10 to 100, you start getting concerned with the average monthly search results. But if you're 10 to 100 for a lot of keywords, you should be fine for search results, especially if you're only running a small to medium-sized campaign. Now, how do we determine the maximum cost per click of our bid limit? And what I generally go about doing is taking these two numbers. So I scroll through here, I see 10 is about the highest number for our top of page high range. And this is essentially what this means. Your ad can place at the top of the page, and this is the highest people are paying for it, and this is the lowest people are paying for it. And generally you want to aim somewhere in the middle. I like to add the two highest numbers up, divide by two, and then maybe add a dollar or two, and that should give you your bid limit. So right here I see $7, $7, $10, $12. You know what? So let's go with, we'll add 4. So 5 plus 12 is 17. 17 divided by 2. 17 divided by 2 is right around $8. So let's add another dollar onto that. So let's put $9 as our maximum cost per click here. You could even put it a little lower than that. I think the contractor here is a little out of sorts. So you know what? Let's put $8 because that seems more consistent with all of this. There's not a lot of real high numbers. They're all right around $7. So let's put $8. If by chance you don't see any results or the impressions are very low, chances are you're going to have to raise your maximum cost per click bid limit. And it's not that difficult to do. You just go in your campaign settings later on and raise it. It's simple. You can change it. It's not set in stone, so you're good. I like to go right in the middle though. Add the two highest numbers up, divide by 2, pick in between there, and you should be good with a maximum cost per click bid limit. So we set our maximum CPC to $8. The next thing is the networks. Now, the search network is a vast array of networks in collaboration with Google. So there's a whole bunch of different search engines that your ads could appear on. And most of these search engines aren't very good. They're not always the highest quality, and we generally see poor results with these search networks. Now, if we need more search volume, we absolutely can include these search partners, but right off the bat, I generally recommend staying away from them just because we don't see the best results generally. Not always, but generally. So it's a good piece of advice. If you need more search results and you've maxed out your bids, you're targeting all these keywords and you're still not seeing enough search results, absolutely you can include the Google search partners. But for right now, we're going to unselect that just to be safe and not to spend all our money right off the bat. Now, the next thing is location settings. I already set a location on early on in our keyword planner, and I'm not going to make this very big just because for the sake of time, I don't want to bore you guys, but we'll set it as Hamilton. We'll come over here to hit target. We're going to hit Toronto, and we'll hit target, and we'll do Mississauga, and we'll hit target. And a nice thing about this is, say you're a service-based business and you really don't care what city it is, as long as it's in with like 40 miles radius. You don't really care about anything. So what I would recommend doing is coming over here to radius, hitting pin mode, and then selecting this and just dropping it down wherever you want on the map. And you can change the actual radius to, let's say, 40 miles. And then you can just drop it smack dab wherever you want. We can hit target and we're good to go. Now, one thing I do recommend in the location settings is setting exclusions. So say say all the cities around here, Simcoe, Woodstock, Tavistock, New Hamburg, all of these could be deselected and excluded. And it helps with not getting calls out of your location. Will you still get calls out of your location? Absolutely. Google's tracking isn't perfect, but it's very good. But if you add these exclusions, you should get rid of a lot of the calls outside of your area. So we'll add in Simcoe here. This is just an example. We're going to come over here to exclude. And another interesting feature, by the way, if you have a city and you just want to come up with all the cities nearby, you can just hit the nearby button and you can just, it pops up all the cities near us. We'll exclude all the United States. We can exclude this, we can exclude that. We'll hit exclude on all of these. And as you can see, we excluded the entire United States. And we've also excluded the areas near us as well. And if we wanted to just get rid of Simcoe, we can just come over here to exclude. So that's how you do it in terms of exclusions. I would recommend if you have a certain city or radius you're targeting, I would exclude all the areas around it, at least in like a 40 or 50-mile radius. That way you can just get rid of all the calls that may or may not come your way. It's just another little tip on how to get rid of as many unwanted calls as possible. So now that we have this set, we can hit save. And by the way, you can also add locations in bulk if you want. You can just write a whole bunch of locations down. But again, you can do whatever you want with it. So now we hit save. And we're going to come down here to location options. Now, this is a super important setting. Please do not miss this. What we have to do here is there's multiple options. We want to target only presence because we're service-based businesses. We only want to target people in this location. We don't want to target people who are interested in this location. So if someone is in New York City and they type in Toronto pool installation, if you have presence or interest selected, because they're interested in this location, your ad is still liable to pop up. So we do not want that. Are there certain scenarios like rental cars that search interest would be very good for? Absolutely. But for most service-based business, you want to stick with just people who are in these areas. Now, for exclusions, we want to add presence or interest. This just gets rid of as many people as possible. Your ads could still be liable to pop up if you don't select presence or interest and someone types in pool installation if they're in your area, but they're looking for, let's say, an area we excluded like Simcoe. So say they were in Hamilton and they typed in pool installation Simcoe, your ad could still be liable to pop up. We don't want that. We only want to target people in our area searching for our products and services. The next thing is languages. And languages, I only speak English, so I'm only going to add English here. But if you want to add a whole bunch of languages, you absolutely can. My advice for this is to create a new campaign and make it specifically that language. So if we wanted to, add in Croatian, we can just check off Croatian, and now we've added the language of Croatian. But that being said, I would create its own campaign. I really don't see any benefit to having like multiple languages in one ad group or one campaign. This is because you won't be able to segment out what audience is doing better. Maybe a person who speaks one language is more likely to convert than another person who speaks another language. I don't know, but that could definitely be a thing. Maybe your ad copy resonates better with them. And also, when you're creating your ad copy, it's nicer to look through an entire campaign. It's just one language as opposed to having multiple languages in a campaign and going, this is difficult to figure out what's working and what's not. So I would recommend building out a separate campaign for each language you're going to do. Now, that being said, we're just going to select English here. The next setting is audience segments. Now, these are really nice later on, month 2, 3, 4, to narrow down your target audience. And essentially what this does is Google groups people into certain audiences. And there's the pool and spas, there's swimming enthusiasts, there's garden and outdoor furniture, there's a whole bunch of them. And we're just going to right now select anything related to pool. We'll do home improvement, landscaping, pools and spas, landscape design, that's good for right now. I generally like to add anywhere from 4 to 8, maybe even 10. Just get as many as you can, really, that are relatable to you, and then set it to observation mode. You don't want to set it to targeting right now because we don't have any data on whether or not these are going to be useful to us. What we want to do is tell Google we want to observe these audiences, and essentially all your clicks and everywhere your clicks are coming from, they will technically come from a certain audience. Google will understand that and it'll go, okay, these audiences are going to be more valuable to you. And then later on, once we have enough data in certain audiences. Maybe the pools and spas were converting really well in that audience. We can switch that to targeting once we have enough data in that. But for right now, we want to leave it in observation mode. Let Google collect the data and tell us whether or not we should target it later on. And the next thing is the ad rotation. So we're going to come down here to ad rotation. And this was generally a very controversial thing way back when, because people who like Google's AI would go with optimize, and people who didn't like Google's AI would go with do not optimize. But right now, Google's AI is absolutely fantastic. I recommend leaving it as optimized. Prefer best performing ads. And essentially what this does is Google will find your best performing ad, put it in, and use that ad time and time again because it knows it's the best, and it will get you the best click-through rate, which generally improves quality score. It makes your campaign much more successful. If you're having problems with your ads, sometimes we put it into do not optimize, and maybe there's just something weird going on in Google Ads. But for vast majority of the time, we're using optimize. Let Google do all of the actual ad rotation. It's much easier that way, and generally you get the best results with that. The next thing is start and end date. So if you don't know Google Ads that well, or you're afraid you're going to get locked out of it, or you want to just set an end date for whatever reason, this is where you do that. So if we come down here, say we wanted our campaign to run from July 5th to July 9th, 2022. All we have to do is select that, and our campaign will run from July 5th to July 9th and then shut off right after that. And it's really great if you're scared of getting locked out of the account, or maybe you only want to run it for a limited test period. Absolutely fine, you can do that. For our example, we're just going to hit none because I know I know how to get back into here, so we're good to go. The next thing is ad schedule, and this is very important and should not be overlooked. I know so many people who run their ads 24/7 and they just burn a whole bunch of money. And this is because if you understand your customer is impatient, and they're kind of like you. They want stuff done yesterday. And the issue with this is if you're running ads, let's say at midnight, and you don't get back to someone until 8 o'clock the next morning, chances are they already went and found someone else. So it's very important that when you're running your ads, you can get back to these people very quickly. So I suggest running these ads the exact same hours as your work days, or whatever time you can get back to these people. So normally I suggest running Mondays to Fridays, 8 till 5 or whatever your hours are at work, and that generally works very, very well. Another thing I should mention is that Mondays to Fridays generally convert best for most service-based businesses. Now, this isn't always true, but it's a general thing we often see, that people on weekends generally have a lot of time on their hands, and they can look and compare quotes and find the lowest price for them. And they generally don't convert as well as people on Mondays to Fridays. And if you think about it, people on Mondays to Fridays, if something breaks on a Monday or a Tuesday, you don't have as much time to think about it and figure it out. You just need someone to come in there now and fix it, because generally you're at work or whatever it is, as compared to Saturday and Sunday. You have more time, you're generally off, and you can look around for the lowest quote. So that's just a little tidbit of advice. You can do whatever you want with it, but make sure you get back to your lead very quickly, or as quickly as possible. The next thing is URL options. Now, this is if you're using CallRail or a third-party tracking service. We're not going to do this for this campaign. It'll run completely fine without this. You don't got to worry about that. So we're just going to skip this for now. And then dynamic search ads. This is if we wanted to index our website and let Google automatically create our ads for us. This generally does not work well with call-only ads. I recommend just avoiding this for this campaign. If most people don't have fully indexed websites, they become complicated. Google will spend a lot of money trying to figure out what ads convert best. If you have a massive website, this could be useful, but if you just have a basic website with 4 or 5 pages on it, don't bother, setting up dynamic search ads. You're just going to waste a whole bunch of money. So we're going to skip that for now. We're now going to hit next. And now we're on to keywords and ads. And what we have to do here is find a nice list of keywords in our first ad group. And we're going to name this ad group. We'll do fiberglass pools, just so we can easily understand what this is going to be about. Fiberglass pool installation. And now that that's set, we're going to type in fiberglass pool installation down here. And this is going to generate us a nice little list of keywords Google recommends. Now, we don't want to add all of these because there's a lot of keywords right off the bat, but we want to add all the keywords with high buying intent. And what I mean by high buying intent is people really want to buy or show interest in getting that service or product or whatever they typed in. We don't want, fiberglass pools tips and tricks, or fiberglass pool companies hiring. And I know that may sound stupid, but if you use broad match, chances are your keywords are actually going to pop up for that. So I'm going to show you how to switch it to exact match in a second. But for right now, let's get our keywords set correctly. We want to go after keywords that have high buying intent. Anything related to cost, discount, free, anything related to cost whatsoever, I generally get rid of right off the bat. This is generally people looking for the lowest price. We don't want to go after those people. Generally, they're again looking for the lowest quote, and they're a pain to convert, and it just wastes a whole bunch of money. So we're going to cut all these people related to cost out. So we're going to get rid of that word. Fiberglass in-ground pool cost gone, prices gone. Fiberglass pool prices installed. Let's put a fiberglass pool installation. Installation. Oh, I hit cap lock. Installation. 10 by 20 fiberglass pool gone. Fiberglass pool cost gone. Average cost gone. Cost gone. Estimator. Estimator could have worked. Estimator. Oh no, that's a never mind. That's a cost estimator. Never mind. Shells we want to get rid of because we're installing the pools. Cost gone. Cost. There's a lot of costs in here, so we're gonna just skim through here. Latham pool costs. Fiberglass pool installers near me, good. Pool repair contractors. We'll put just pool contractors. We can put. We'll copy this out. We'll hit fiberglass pool installation near me. Fiberglass pools near me. That could also work. Fiberglass pool construction or fiberglass pool contractors. And what you're going to do is just essentially build out a nice long list of this that have high buying intent keywords around them. You can go into your keyword planner like we did over here, copy and paste them in here. And then once we have a nice list built out, I recommend anywhere from 10 to 30 keywords in an ad group, as long as they're relatable and it makes sense with your ad copy. And you got to think it from the customer's perspective. They don't want an ad that says, vinyl pools when they're searching for fiberglass pools. They want an ad that says fiberglass pools near me or fiberglass pool installation when they type in the word fiberglass pool installation. So as long as your keyword makes sense with the ad copy that we're going to write in a second, you can add this keyword to your ad group. Now, once we've built out a nice long list of keywords, what I recommend doing is adding all of them to exact match or changing all of them to exact match. We used to really recommend phrase match, but now Google has updated a lot of its keywords, and broad match can literally target anything. If you type in fiberglass pool installation, you could appear for the keyword fiberglass pool installation companies hiring near me. Now, we don't want to appear for that, but if you leave it in broad match, which is literally just hitting save right here, not adding any quotations or brackets around these words, you're liable to pop up for that, and we don't want that to happen. Way back when, phrase match used to be really constrictive, and it really wouldn't let you pop up for a whole bunch of stuff. Now it's gotten a lot more lenient, and we tend not to go with it, so we don't put phrase match. As you can see here, it's just parentheses around the keyword. We don't really use that as often anymore. What we like to do is build out an extensive list of exact match by putting brackets around each of these keywords. And what I recommend doing for saving time is highlighting this and coming over to a website called Adwords Wrapper. Now, adwordswrapper.com is an absolutely fantastic website. We're going to paste all our keywords in here. We're going to hit wrap keywords, and then we're going to scroll down to the bottom here, hit copy again just to be safe, and then we're going to come over here and hit paste, and we're good to go. Now all of our keywords are in brackets, and they'll all be created in exact match form, so you don't got to worry about popping up for search terms that aren't really relevant to you. You're only going to pop up for keywords very, very closely related to these words, which is good. Now the next thing is creating our ad. We are creating a call ad. If you haven't already entered your phone number, enter it in here. Make sure it's located with your country. And what we're going to do is, you don't need a website here, but I highly recommend adding a website. It makes you look more professional, and it gives you an extension as well occasionally. So it makes your ad bigger, and the bigger you can make your ad, the more likely it is someone's going to see it and click on it. So add as many extensions and as much information as you possibly can to make your ad as big as possible. So we're going to add in our Elite Pools website address here. And then with the verification URL, just doubles it. It's absolutely fine. The next thing is the display path. So essentially, this is just a nice little customization. A lot of people don't take the time to do this, but it just appears in right after your URL link. So for this campaign, or for this ad group, it's fiberglass pools. So we'll do fiberglass pool installation. And as you can see, it pops up a nice little / fiberglass pools / installation. It just makes it look a little bit more customized and a little bit more unique. And the more we can customize this and make it unique to the customer's problem, the more likely they are to click on us. So the next thing is entering in our headlines. Now, I recommend always putting in your main keyword, which is going to be fiberglass pool installation here. Uh, for this, I spelled installation again wrong. Fiberglass pool installation, your main keyword. Generally, people searching for fiberglass pool installation, as soon as they see this, will relate to it. The next thing is I would add in a call to action. So maybe it's get a free quote now. You could add schedule a free assessment. You could add a whole bunch of call to actions, whatever you want. You want the customer to understand what's going to happen once they click on this ad. So if they see fiberglass pool installation, then the next line is, get a free quote now or call now. They know exactly what's going to happen. They're not like, oh, well, maybe they're just boasting about their pools or whatever it is. And I know that sounds a little stupid, but always add a call to action. It definitely helps with click-through rates, and it definitely allows the consumer to understand and get a feel for what's going on when they call you. And it gives them a little bit more information, which is always nice. So get a free quote now. And then we're going to enter in the business name, which is Elite Pools. And then for the description line, we're just going to go into more detail about what we have to offer and what we do. Don't boast about how great your company is. Don't say we have the best pools. Give them reasons to buy. Maybe it's 20 years service. Maybe it's lifetime guarantee. Maybe it's certified installers, award winning. Whatever it is, give them more reasons to buy from you. Don't boast about yourself. If you boast about yourself, your click rate's going to suffer and you're not going to be as successful. So I went ahead and wrote two description lines just to save us some time. As you can see here, professional fiberglass pool installation, over 20 years of experience, call now or call for a free quote. That's fine. Award-winning pool, certified installers, a 2-year warranty, and dozens of happy clients. Again, very good. Gets to the point very quickly. And this is essentially our first ad. We're going to make 3 more. I always recommend having at least 3 call-only ads in every single ad group. This allows Google to rotate and figure out which ad is best, and it just generally gives you a better chance of having a high click-through rate and having a successful campaign. So the next thing is call reporting. You want call reporting turned on. It should be automatically turned on. And we're just going to use the actual use account settings call from ad. If you don't have a conversion already set up, you automatically should inside of a Google Ads account. But for whatever reason, if you didn't, you're going to come up here to tools and settings, hit conversions, and then set up a basic call only conversion setting. Very simple to do. I have a whole bunch of videos on it, but it's very easy. We're just going to hit use account settings and everything should be fine. When it comes to add URL options, we're not going to add any tracking templates. We're good to go. So we're going to hit done and we're going to hit next. And now we have callout extensions, and we've already created a few callout extensions, but let's create a couple more just to show you what it looks like. Callout extensions, we could add 2-year warranty, award-winning pools, 20 years of experience. We could add free consultation, free pool consultation. Essentially here in the callout extensions, you just want to add more reasons why they should pick you. An extension is just a little tidbit of information below it, and it highlights what you have to offer. So maybe it's, award-winning pools, 2-year warranty, lifetime guarantee, 20 years of experience, whatever it is, you want to highlight those specific features about your company that make you and makes you different from the competition. And you can always add a whole bunch more callouts. I recommend filling them all out. I think you can have up to 20. Fill out as many as possible. This gives you the best chance of finding a winner and Google having a better chance. Now you can set extension scheduling inside of this. I would recommend just leave it as whatever your ads already were. We don't want to overcomplicate our account, so we're just going to skip that. And now we can just select our callout extensions from here. I've already did a couple, but these are the ones we just recently did. We're just going to go with that. And then we're going to hit more extensions. Now there are 2 other extensions that are liable to pop up with your call only ads. And since call only ads aren't as big, you don't have all the extensions available to you. You only have 4 extensions. Now, the first one was the callout extension. The second one was the website extension. The third and fourth are the location extension and the structured snippet extension. And it's very important to use all the information as possible and make your ad as big as possible because we want to be seen. So what we're going to do is hit new structured snippet extension. We're going to come over here to English because that's our language. And essentially what a structured snippet extension is if you have a certain model, brand, style, anything like that, and you would wanted to list it on showing your customer what you had to offer, you can do so. So what we're going to do here is we're going to come down here to types, and we could type in, vinyl pools. We could type in fiberglass pools, and let's do in-ground pools. And this again is just to increase the size of your ad and show your customer what you have to offer. These are just the different types of pools we'd offer and make your ad a little bit bigger. And we're just going to hit select on that and we're good to go. We also have more extensions down here. These don't apply to us because we're running call only ads. So we're just going to hit next. And we're going to add in our daily budget. Now, if we think back to our keyword ideas, we set our maximum cost per click for $8. I recommend at least 5 clicks a day, and I generally don't recommend any less than $40. If you're doing less than $40, chances are you're not going to be able to optimize your campaign very quickly, and it's going to take a long time, and you're not going to be happy with it. So 8 times 5 would be $40. So we're going to set our daily budget for $40. Generally 1 in 5 should convert, so that's a 20% conversion rate. You might have to work on that, get it a little up, select your keywords right off the bat. It may not be 20% right off the bat, just because every service and industry is different. Some are more competitive. You have to work on it, try to get it to at least 20%, and that will be 1 in 5 clicks will convert into a lead, meaning you will be able to get at least 1 call a day, one lead a day. So that's nice for most business owners. And so we're going to set our budget for $40 a day, and we're going to hit next. As you can see, this is a review of all of the things we've done. It says campaign settings, low traffic expected. That is because we did not add in enough search keywords. Please make a nice list about it, like I said before. Also, create at least 3 ads in your campaign. We're going to go ahead and do this right off the bat and create more ads. So we're going to hit publish our campaign. So what I'm going to do right now is just pause our campaign because we don't want our ads showing because they haven't been set up properly yet. But we're going to come back and turn that back on. What I would recommend doing is creating your ads first and then copying them out. So we've built our first ad inside of our fiberglass pool installation ad group. And what I'm going to do is copy these out. So instead of having to go and then remake all of these, it's much easier just to paste them out and then slightly switch a whole bunch of stuff. So it just saves you a whole bunch of time. So we're just going to pause after this. And then if the duplicate already exists, yep. So we check those 2 things off, and then this will load and we will double our ad, and then we're going to double it again. So we have 3 ads in our ad group. And this should be enough for Google to actually circulate and find a winner. So we're going to, again, paste, and then we're going to hit done. We're going to check these 2 off. Yep. And again, we're just going to double this out. All right, so we've successfully duplicated our ads, and now we have 3 different types of ads, and we're going to go in and edit them. So the first thing is I want to have different headlines and different professional description lines, and this gives us the best chance of finding a winning ad with a high click-through rate. So I went ahead and already wrote out 2 new headlines: certified fiberglass pools, 2-year warranty, award-winning. These are good headlines. We could change up the description to maybe certified pool installation. Maybe we could add in, we could have your pool done in 2 weeks. Maybe we could, a lifetime guarantee, whatever it is. Again, go in there, switch up the description, make sure it's nice, make sure it's applicable to the customer and what they want. All we're going to do now is come down here to hit save new version, and our new version will be saved. But please make sure to actually go in, switch the description, and then you should be good to go. Also, make sure you turn these back on to enabled, and after you're done editing them, and then they will be active and good to go. But make sure you go into the other ad as well, change that around, make sure they're all different, make sure you have a good chance of getting an ad that is going to be successful. Now that we've established our first 3 ads, what we're going to do is now multiply our campaign out so we have at least 3 ad groups in our campaign so we can manage them easily, so we can have a decent amount of search traffic coming into our account. So what we're going to do is come over here to our ad group, and we're going to copy this, hit edit, hit copy, and then we're going to hit paste. And this may take a second depending on how big our ad group is. If it's really big, it may take a little bit. So, if it's a little slow, give it a few seconds, refresh your page, and you should be fine. And now our campaign has been successfully duplicated. I'm going to rename this to, let's do vinyl pool installation. That's a nice little different niche. So we'll do vinyl pool installation. We're just hit save, and then we're going to copy our pool installation campaign again. We're just going to hit paste, and we'll make a new one. So So again, this might take a couple minutes depending on how big the ad group is. And now we've successfully multiplied our campaign out again. And we're going to do in-ground pool installation for this one. And the nice thing about doubling these ad groups out is all of the ads already in this and all the keywords in this are already there. So we don't have to rewrite all the ads. We just have to go in there and switch a few things around. For this one, I'm just going to go into the vinyl pool installation one. Actually, let's do the in-ground pool installation one. I think this will be fun. So as you can see here, we have fiberglass pool, contractors near me, fiberglass pools near me. We're just going to come over here with the little pencil icon and switch this to in-ground pool contractors near me. And we're just going to go down the entire list and do this. And it may take some time, but it's definitely worth it. And we should be good once we hit the bottom here. Full installation. And there's only one more. I'll do the rest. I won't be lazy. So we'll do in-ground pools. Pools. So good. Now we've switched all of this around, and we're going to come back up here to ads and extensions. As you can see, we're in the in-ground pool installation. Make sure you're in there. Make sure you're not in like vinyl or whatever. Make sure you've clicked on this. We're going to come up to ads, and then we're going to go in and adjust each of our ads. So as we can see, it says fiberglass pools here. We'll do in-ground pool installation. Most of this stuff can be left, especially if you have a winning ad already. You don't really need to change it around. And then we're just going to hit save. And most of this stuff in the ads, you may only have to change one or two words, but it is worth changing because the actual ad rank will be affected by that. Your click-through rank will be your click-through rate will be affected by that. So please go in there, take the time to go in there and switch it. You will see tremendous results if you do change those one or two words. It does have a massive effect on your campaigns. But make sure go through all these, change them to make sure they're in line with the actual keywords and the ad copy. Make sure those two line up, and you should be good. Now, there's one last thing I would do. I would click on our campaign here. I would come to extensions, and like I said before, we need a location extension. This is the only other extension applicable with call only ads. So we're going to come down here to location extension, and again, we want this as big as possible. And there's multiple ways to do this. Whatever you want to do, whether it's select curated locations, find a business profile manager, link to a business profile manager, whatever you want to do, make sure you link up your actual location with it, and you should be good. That'll give you a little bit more space, a little bit more room, more likely to be clicked on with your ad. So that is the last little tidbit of information I have for you. Once this is all good, make sure you come back in here, turn on all of your ads, turn on all of your ad groups. So make sure all of these are enabled. Make sure your all your keywords are enabled. Make sure your actual ad groups. So we're going to come back here to ad groups. Make sure all your ad groups are enabled. And then final thing is we're going to click on our campaign and turn this back on, and our campaign will be active. So that is how to set up a call-only campaign inside Google Ads. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, leave them down in the comments section down below. I'd be happy to answer them. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day and take care.